Have you ever walked through a city you have lived in for years and suddenly felt like you no longer belong there? The same streets, the same buildings, the same faces, yet something invisible stands between you and everything you once called home. As if the city hasn't changed, but you have. And then a quite dangerous question appears. What if I leave? What if the life I'm looking for is somewhere else? What if home is nothing more than a geographical accident? Today we are exploring an essay called Home is Sad. Should we stay or leave? Written by American journalist Jeanette Cooperman and published in Persian by Tarjuman, translated by Irfan Qadri. At first glance, this is a story about migration, but underneath, it is really a story about belonging, a story about a question many of us secretly carry. Should I stay and make peace with the world I know, or should I leave and begin again? In the essay, Koopman and her husband consider leaving the United States. They imagine France, Spain, Wallis, Panama, anywhere else that might feel comfortable, calmer, slower, more human. But the deeper they explore the possibility of leaving, the more they discover something unsettling. The real question is not about countries, it is about people. Because human beings are strange creatures. We suffer inside familiar lives, yet we fear changes. We complain about home, but the moment we think about leaving it, memories rush back. Old furniture, childhood friends, friends we've known for decades. The streets that silently witnessed our lives. And suddenly we realize home is not a location, home is a memory. Home is a collection of former versions of ourselves. Throughout the essay, Koopman moves between two phases, staying or leaving. But these are really symbols for something deeper, the past and the future. The past that shaped us, and the future that keeps calling our name. That's why this essay resonates far beyond America. Because millions of people around the world feel like strangers in the very places where they were born. A feeling that philosophers have described for centuries, the feeling of being homeless even while standing inside your own home. At one point, Koopman quotes the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who wrote that each of us belongs to two communities, the place where we born, and the larger community of humanity itself. And that idea lies at the heart of this essay. Do we belong to a nation or do we belong to the world? Is home an obligation or a choice? Koopman never gave a final answer, and perhaps that's the point, because life rarely gives a final answer. As the essay unfolds, she realized that many of her reasons for leaving are not political at all. They are deeply personal, the fear of aging, the fear of reputation, the fear of waking up every day to the same routine until life quietly slips away. She doesn't just want a new country, she wants to feel alive again. And this is where the essay becomes something more than a discussion about migration. Because perhaps what we are really searching for is not a new place, but a new version of ourselves. We tell ourselves that another city will save us, another country will save us, another life will save us. Yet, wherever we go, we carry ourselves with us. The same fears, the same wounds, the same loneliness. Again and again, the easy returns to one uncomfortable question. If I leave, what if actually change? And maybe that's the question many of us avoiding asking, because the answer can be painful. Maybe the problem was never entirely outside us. Yet, despite its sadness, the essay is not pessimistic. There is a quiet hope hidden beneath every page. The belief that human beings have the right to search, to dream, to begin again, even if they never find a perfect destination, even if they spend their lives suspended between staying and leaving. By the end, Cooperman still doesn't know what she will choose, stay or go. But she discovers something more important. No country is perfect, no homeland is paradise, and no immigration is a miracle. Because every journey eventually leads back to the same question: where do I belong? Maybe home is not a point on a map. Maybe home is the place where we no longer have to pretend, the place where we can finally be ourselves. And perhaps the deepest question this essay leaves us with is this: if there were no borders, no fear, and no limitations, would you stay or would you leave? This is Mr. Brilliant, a place where we don't search for easy answers, only deeper questions.